I think that what kind of work embedded learning you're talking about doing depends on what is the purpose that you're trying to do it for. So we talk a lot about different kinds of work experiences being for awareness or exploration or preparation. And we're putting out some work on that that's copied from work done in Alabama and Colorado and some other states. But if you identify the purpose, right, what are we trying to do here? We're just trying to make students aware generally of these, or learners, whoever they are, aware generally of these jobs, these careers, these industry sectors. That's a whole different kind of work embedded learning that you need to be doing. You move all the way up to the point where I know what job I want and I need to gain the technical skills for that job. Now you're into that technical skill preparation. That is registered apprenticeship territory. But there's a continuum all along there where you've got to source that. You can't source that if you don't do what Tony was saying and talk to the employers. The whole shooting match has to be an employer-driven model. Tony mentioned, the employers want to have a seat at the table. I always tell every apprenticeship or work embedded learning people I'm talking to, you don't need the employers to have a seat at your table. You need to go to their table. They are the customers in this model. They are the consumer of the education system, right? The product coming out is the trained and trainable learner and worker. They're the ones that are consuming that. They need to be the ones telling us this is the shortfall in the product that's coming out. Here's what I need to be fixed. And then leave it to the education system to respond to that with the appropriate kind of work embedded learning. And you've got to circle all the way back on that. And then just on the intermediaries thing, as always, we can't make blanket statements, right? There are intermediaries that have done great work. The places that I've seen the intermediaries be the most beneficial is where they have a partnership with the state. The state says, look, I don't have the manpower or I don't have the expertise or whatever. I want to partner with this group over here. I know now because we've built a relationship that intermediary understands the unique needs, the special proclivities of state X. And when they help me help one of my employers, then it's a good thing. When the employers are going to intermediaries independent of employers, independent of the state or independent of even the state registration entity, if it's an OA body, I've seen that go off the rails more often than not. It's got to be a complete partnership. And if you're an intermediary out there and you're not working with that state and you're just letting employers come straight to you, get it right, because it's all going to wind up back at that registration entity in the end. So, it's gotten better. When intermediaries first came on the scene, they were popping in, they were talking to our employers in the state of Alabama. They were giving them advice that was just dead wrong for the state of Alabama. And then I had to go undo all of that. It's gotten much better, but still has some room for improvement in that category.